What's going on, guys? It's Dave from Dudes Did It. In today's video, I want to cover something that's very important for the upcoming season of summer, and that is garage sale negotiations. If you want to find out how we negotiate at garage sales and some practices and tips we use, hang in there. Alright guys, what's going on? So today I'm at a local park in our county. I used to come here when me and my brother were a kid. We came here a lot. My mom and my aunt used to take us here. And we're actually here today with the family. They're down by the pond fishing. And I figured I'd take a few minutes out, come up here and film a quick video for today. So as promised, in today's video, we're going to cover garage sale negotiation. It is the summer season, and a lot of garage sales are going on, and a lot of people go into these garage sales and they see prices, or maybe something's not marked, and they're just not sure how to negotiate when it comes to negotiating a price at a yard sale. One thing to remember when you go to a yard sale, these people went through the hassle and the time to take this stuff out, put it out, and they want to get rid of it. They want to sell the item. If they didn't want to sell it, it wouldn't be out there at the garage sale in the first place. So, in no particular order, but somewhat of an order, I created a list of things that we do when we're negotiating at garage sales to try to help us get the best price so that we can then take that item and flip it for a profit with an online sale on eBay, Mercari, Amazon, wherever you might be selling. So the first thing we do is when we're first coming up to the garage sale, what we do is I like to tend to greet the seller, make some small talk. You want to create a friendly atmosphere if possible. You know, maybe you walk up to the seller and you say, "Oh, it's such a nice day. You guys got a really good day for a yard sale." Just some sort of small talk. Try to stay away from any sort of small talk that has to do with politics or opinions or anything of that nature. You know, just a simple, "Hey, it's a great day, isn't it?" It kind of sets the mood, and you can get a little bit of a gauge on their personality. Don't mind the airplanes flying over. There's a local small airport right close by, and they fly a lot of small private planes, so hopefully there won't be too many. I'll try to move through the list pretty quick. After you greet the seller, what you want to do is you want to look around a bit. Even if you see something you like, if there's nobody else there at the sale, don't be so quick to grab it and pick it up right away. You don't want to come across as excited. If you come across as excited, I'm telling you right now, the price of that item just went up, because there's nothing more exciting than an excited buyer. We know, we're sellers. You get excited when somebody watches your listing. You get excited when somebody makes you an offer, even though the offers are usually low balls. You get excited, and you tend to want more for that. The more attention a product is demanding, the more value is being perceived on that product by the seller. So you look around a little bit. If there's nobody else there, just kind of glaze over the garage sale. You can always go back to an item. Now, if somebody's there, you might want to pick up the item, carry it around for a minute, just to kind of get a gauge on, you know, what's going on. You don't want to lose an item if it's that hot of an item. The third thing I like to do is I try not to name each item. So if there is a box sitting on there with a collectible mug, I don't want to ask the seller, "Hey, how much for this collectible mug?" Or if it's clothing, I don't want to say, "How much for this vintage polo shirt?" What I just want to simply do, and what you want to do, is just point at the item. Say, "Oh, excuse me, how much is this?" Or if you see, for example, clothing, what we'll do is typically clothing will be out in a pile or on a rack. And what I like to do is I like to say, "Oh, how much are the clothes?" Because that kind of puts them in a position to either specifically give you a price on individual clothing items, or just say shirts are $3 a piece, in which case that leads on to bundling, which we'll cover a little later in the video. So you don't want to point out the item and name it specifically. Number 4, you want to act as if you don't really have to have the item. I mean, if I see this notebook and I'm like, "Man, I've always wanted this notebook," I don't want to sound that way to the buyer. I want to sound like, "Hey, how much is this notebook?" "Oh, it's $5. Yeah, all right. Yeah, nah, I had wanted one, but I'm not really sure I'll use it." Because what you're doing when you do that is, without them realizing it, you're devaluing the item. So they get the message that that item might not be worth as much to you. They still want to sell it. There's a little bird over here I was looking at. Sorry, he was checking it out. They still want to sell the item, but now in their mind, they know they really can't get top dollar from you, the buyer that's looking at it right now. So act as if you don't really need it or that you don't really want it. Not so disinterested that they're blown off by it or put off by it, but just, you know, yeah, I'm not sure if I really want it. At that point, a lot of times a buyer will make you an offer that's better than what they've already given. Number 5 is let the seller tell you the first price. You do not want to make an offer on something that you want to buy before the seller makes you a price offer. The reason for that is you don't really know what their valuation is of that item in their mind. It might be something they've been holding on to for years and they're just tired of looking at it. They just want to get rid of it. I've had many items that I knew going in were higher value items, and rather than say, hey, will you take $5 for this? I just said, oh, how much do you want for that? I've gotten things for as low as $25 that I would have never dreamt I could get for $25, just by letting them make the first price up. If you make up the first price, chances are your price may be higher than their price, and you're going to end up overpaying for the item that you might be able to get much cheaper. Number 6 is you need to be prepared to walk away. Don't get attached to an item. If you're attached to it, I mean, if it's a great item, if you're finding something that's super rare, obviously you're going to make the deal and you're going to pick that item up as long as there's room in it for you to still make some money on it. But what you don't want to do, I got another plane coming over. It's almost gone, I promise. They're fun to watch. Maybe at the end of the video, if I can catch some footage of them flying around, I'll put it up at the end of the video. Maybe I'll put some at the end of the video. If you stick around, I'll put some footage up of the planes, and I'll put some video up of the pond down there with some of the wildlife, turtles and stuff that are around. Anyway, you want to be prepared to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to leave an item behind. The reason for that is sometimes walking away will also spawn an offer from the seller. So be prepared to walk away. Don't get attached to the item. Number 7 on the list is don't be afraid to bundle stuff. If you found a garage sale and it's got a bunch of stuff that you like, 3, 4, 5 items that you like, you can ask the price of each individual item as you go along. But at the end of it all, bundle those items together and see if they can give you a better deal, being that you're buying multiple items. Okay? With that in mind, what you want to do is when you're bundling those items and you get up to the seller now and you're ready to cash out, you're ready to check out, this leads you up to number 8. When you are ready to check out and you're ready to pay for your items with the seller, if you have a few items, this is your time to strike. Let's say I had 5 items and it came out to $25, okay? That's what the individually priced items came out to altogether. What you want to do is you want to take money out. Don't be afraid to take out the cash. Hang on, there's a parked vehicle driving by. So don't be afraid to take out the cash and show them it. Now's the chance. $25 is what they wanted for the items. Maybe I take out a 20 and I say, would you take $20 for that item? Because at the end of the day, when they see that money, okay, if they see the cash, they don't want to lose it. Even if it's less than what they're asking for, they don't want to lose that cash. So they're more likely to take that offer because they see the money. So, you know, as they always say, money talks. It really truthfully does. Money does talk. If you flash the cash, chances are you're going to cut the deal. You're going to get them at a better price than you've already got. Number 9, sometimes the deal is good enough. Sometimes the price on an item, it's good enough. You don't need to barter. You don't want to come across too greedy. And the reason for that is if you have a good price on an item already and you're going to try to chop a little bit more, that might be the end of the negotiations for anything else in that garage sale. They may say, you know what, this guy's just cheap or this girl's just cheap. I'm going to price them higher on everything else now because I know they're going to try to bargain with me. So sometimes if you know what you're doing and you know your prices, which you should know a lot of your prices on things that you're looking for, sometimes the deal is good enough. Just leave it as is, pay the money, and out the door you go. Don't ever tell them like, hey, thanks, I got such a great deal on that. You don't want to give them the value of the item while you're standing there. You don't want to buy a camera, you know, and say, hey, I can't believe you sold this to me for $10. I'm going to go flip it for $150. Leave that part out. And finally, number 10, guys, is if possible, and I know it's not always possible. Some people are addicted. Some people just can't get enough. And some people have no choice. They have to source it. Reselling is a tough business. You need to learn a lot about a lot. And if you don't know a lot about a lot, you need to look it up. But if possible, stay off your phone. If it is possible to stay off your phone, that is great. Because what happens is when a seller sees you on your phone, whether you're sending a text to a friend, or whether you're looking up your stats on YouTube, or whether you're just checking out Dudes Did It's latest video, they automatically will assume that you are taking that phone to look up the price of an item, and now that drives the value of that item up in their eyes. They're going to think that item is worth more because you must have just looked it up on eBay, or you know how much it's worth, and now they're gonna want more for that item right away. It never fails. So if you can stay off your phone, that's great. If you really have to look something up, maybe you get the information off of the item, walk around a little bit, and then you wanna look that item up afterwards. Another plane going by, I promise. I'm not sure if I'll edit them out or leave them. Anyhow, that's the 10 tips we have for garage sale seasons. I hope you can employ these tips and help you out with your sales for the summer and building up a nice stockpile of goods to sell for the holiday season, which I know, don't kill me, it's not that far away. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe down below. Give us a like, drop us a comment. Let us know if any of these tips worked out for you. I'm gonna go take some footage around the park, spend some time with the family. Thanks for checking me out today. Have a great day, guys. Dave from Dudes Did It.
That's a little bit.